Welcome to the Community Forum. My name is John Goliatino, and I'm your host. This evening, we're going to have an interesting interview. We're going to be talking with an environmental consultant who does marketing. He's actually a marketing guru, and we're going to be talking to a future Miss Connecticut. I try to vary the show, keep it interesting, so that's the way I chalk this one up for you folks. So I want to welcome to the show Steve Schappert and Kaitlyn Tarpey. Okay, welcome.
Thank you, John.
Okay.
Thanks for having us.
Yeah, you're welcome. Tell us a little bit for the audience, because we have people coming and going all the time, a little bit about yourself as how you got into your line of work, and maybe explain the marketing also.
Sure. In a nutshell, started out as a contractor as a kid, became a real estate broker, got back into building, became a green builder, and then called the Department of Energy and said, well, what do you got other than Energy Star? And they said, kid, go with zero energy. That's where we're going. I said,
green.
Okay. So I kind of raised my hand and said, you know what, I'm the zero energy guy, and designed a couple of houses. The market was, we still had a real estate market at the time, early 2000s. Things were going good. I developed one piece of land that was going to be my home and office for a Green Living Expo. 15,000 square feet for $3.5 million. We got as far as getting the foundation in by October of '08 when the market crashed and lost everything. So how do you go from...
So you have to be philosophical, to say the least.
Absolutely. And,
right.
and how do you go from, that guy, the environmental builder, to now marketing consultant for, I own the Green Marketing Company. It really came down to the world crashed, and in order to keep moving forward, you got to figure out how you're going to reinvent yourself. And it was actually my father. He put his arm around me and he goes, you've always been really good at marketing. Every time I turn around, you're on TV talking about something, and you love this green stuff, but just you're working these little jobs here and there just trying to get by. Maybe you should just look for better clients.
Greener pastures.
Right.
Yeah.
So I created the Green Marketing Company, and that's kind of what I've been doing for the last 2 years now. But now the phone is starting to ring. I'm not really convinced the market has turned around, but I've got cities and nations calling me saying we'd like to finance you. Because also when the market crashed, I said, okay, we'll go from building, but what else do I have? I was left with a '72 Mustang and no money. So I look at things differently, John. So I looked at the car and I go, I'm going to sell it for lunch, I'm going to move into it for shelter, or I'm going to put one of those cool hydrogen generators that I've read so much about underneath the car, and I'm going to drive across country and get publicity for my green building business. I posted that on Facebook, and one of the founders of MTV called up and said, that's a great idea, let's make a movie. So it built a lot of excitement. We fixed up the car. We got about $15,000 in donations to get the car all the way around the country. We went through 28 states in 28 days. And I learned how to get the car to increase in gas mileage by 58%. Last show I went to was last fall with Ford, Chevy, Honda, and Tesla, and they all came over afterwards and they're like, 58%? How'd you do that? And I was like, 3 guys in a salvage yard with no money. How you guys doing?
So that's interesting.
The car is it's actually kind of how I met Kaitlyn. The car increased in popularity very quickly. I was on TV probably 20 times going across the country, and when I got back, it was like, had some issues with, I thought I had cancer, and turns out I didn't have cancer. Turns out I actually have a slug in my chest, piece of shrapnel in my chest. That was a little bizarre, but it was good news to have shrapnel instead of cancer.
Right.
So my mother had passed away from cancer. I've got this cool car. It seems like people gather around it all the time whenever I go anywhere. So I said, I'm going to call Susan G. Komen. we'll do this thing called Pink Pics, where I take the car and I go to different locations and we take pictures with people and celebrities and stuff. And I came across somebody that worked for the Miss Connecticut scholarship organization, and she sent 12 girls over. Kaitlyn was one of them. And we kind of went from there.
And now we're fast forward to today.
And now we're fast forward today.
Okay.
Yep.
Now, Kaitlyn,
My turn.
tell us a little bit about yourself as you were going. You know, you can tell us if you're going to school and a little bit how long you've been in. You're from Stamford, right?
I'm from Stamford, Connecticut.
Okay.
I've lived there since I was 8 years old.
Okay.
I was actually born in France.
You're born in France.
I was born in France, so French
Okay.
was my first language.
Okay.
But then I moved over to the States. I moved to Stamford. I went to school at Loomis Chaffee High School in Windsor, Connecticut. It's a boarding school. Lived there for 4 years. So that definitely built my independence. Now I am a junior at Pace University in Manhattan. I still reside in Stamford. I'm the current Miss Greater Simsbury. I'm competing for Miss Connecticut this summer, June 28th, 29th, and 30th at the Gard Arts Center in New London.
Okay.
And I'm a communications major with a double minor in environmental studies and criminal justice. Like Steve had said, I met him at an appearance last year with a few other title holders taking pink pics with the car, and we raised some money on that day. And throughout the organization, we really try to maintain the relationships with the sponsors and the other organizations that we partner with for appearances. So Steve's actually judged a local pageant for the Miss Connecticut organization. We've kept in touch, and I'm actually going to be emceeing Greenfest along with the current Miss Connecticut, Morgan Amarone, this summer, June 23rd and 24th. So I'm here to kind of talk about Greenfest and other environmental ideas that Steve has been supporting, and to put a plug in to watch me compete for Miss Connecticut this summer.
All right, very good. Now, you've already touched on that you met at the appearances with the car and then the Susan Komen events.
Right.
Now, what is your goal in all of this? In your combination, are you answer the question.
What's the
rather
goal?
than add on something.
I got to be honest, you know, whether it's good or bad, but all my life I've always thought that I was supposed to make a dramatic change in the world, something that could actually bond all race, creed, color, and religion. It's kind of a tall order, and it kind of sucks for me because it kind of leaves me going through life going, okay, what next? How am I going to do this? In losing everything, I had this, company called BIOS. That was my zero energy homes, and I said, well, okay, now there's no one's building anything, so I'm not the zero energy builder. So I just kind of focused and turned it into a philosophy, and that's kind of how we came up with the philosophy of helping people do good, or do well by doing good.
You still have the know-how, though. So
still have the know-how, which is
when
why
the market changes, you got the know-how here, and that.
And it's coming back now. Like I said, I've had a city and a country actually call within the last 2 weeks, going, can we help you? Can we help you finance? And what I've done is been able to put some really unique things together. I've designed zero energy buildings, but then I went out with no money and figured out how to get the car to run on water. So the goal is to actually take both concepts, the zero energy framing plus the water for fuel concept, to power your home. So
that'd be a big hit.
It should be.
Water, cars running on water.
Houses running on water, John.
Yeah, that'd be even a bigger hit. I'm just thinking of those millions of cars we got on the road. If you got them running on water, we wouldn't need Saudi Arabia.
Correct.
We wouldn't
or
need
those
a
other
lot of
countries
reasons.
out there in the Middle East.
The BIOS philosophy is about promoting everything that's green, healthy, holistic, organic, sustainable, and energy efficient. So you basically take all the good stuff in life and promote that. And that's the basis of the Green Marketing Company, okay? So there's no building going on right now. I'm going to take my marketing expertise and just keep doing what I've been doing, but I'm going to help other companies that aren't in the building industry right now.
Now, this is like an ultimate makeover of yourself, going from doing one thing and going
Absolutely
into this
is.
other thing. You call yourself a consultant, so basically you could be doing this for other people that are out there sitting around waiting for the market to turn, and may not be happening for another 5 years or more and any kind of significance. You could teach them to go green too,
Exactly.
right?
And it's my forte has always been in affordable green. You know, it's nice to say, ooh, go green and blah, 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 but you know what? Nobody cares. Sorry, nobody cares. Until you can make money at it and get,
Save money.
financing for it. Those are the
and save money.
correct.
If the consumer knows that a house that's costing him $2,000 or $3,000 a year in fuel can go, or, you know, it might go to $500 as opposed to $3,000.
Right.
They'll listen. And the same with the automobile. You know, if you're going down, maybe not down to zero, but you're going down to several $100s when it's costing you $50 a week or $150 a week,
Right.
Depending on what you're driving, they'll listen. So
That is the key.
So that would be a major impact. And you would get a little line in the history book. So you're not that far off from it. Might be 5 years away from achieving your hit.
Just
Right?
keep trying.
Yeah, you
and
just got to use the publicity and
right. Keep
communications.
trying and keep associating with other people that have similar ideas and like causes, like Kaitlyn. You know, it is a complete life makeover, as you were about to say.
Right.
Kind of at a point in my life at 48 years old, you know, I had lost everything. I'm trying to make a comeback. I was out of shape. And I figured, well, I can't be the guy that jumps in the blue car and goes around and does seminars on teaching people how to do well by doing good if I'm broken and broke. So
Right.
I need to turn it around very quickly. And I'm doing that by throwing it out there, taking what I know, helping other people, and attracting other people in. From being just the marketing, we've expanded to doing accounting and management services as well. So yes, we take all of that knowledge and we go to other companies and go, here, we can help you. Most companies will say, times are tough, I don't have money, you know, for a marketing budget. That's okay. We're going to come in and show you how to save money by going green, by doing your energy audits first and lowering your expenses. We're going to take that savings and then put it into a marketing budget that tells more people about the good things that you do that save you money, which makes you more likable, so more people do business with you.
Right. 'Cause
Therefore, you make more money
'cause you're lowering
so
the
you
cost.
can do more good things, and it just becomes
And
what
it
I
helps
call the
lower the
BIOS
cost of the
business
product,
cycle.
because if it costs them X number of dollars to do the products for them, and they can bring it down 10% or whatever, that's a good marketing ploy.
Right. So it's been having, you know, the accountants come forward, the management people come forward. A friend of mine is a musician. We were going to go on tour last year, and he ended up going on tour, but the car broke, so I didn't go. He went on to become an ambassador of peace for the United Nations. So we decided this